Excuse, excuse, and excuse. You know that excuse is for loser. Excuse is for failure. For somebody that never want to do anything to change their life. I've never been good at that. Have you heard this excuse before? If this sounds too familiar to you, I heard this so many times in my life. I heard it over and over again. This is one of the most common bullshit excuses that most people use to justify for their bad behavior. Because it gives them a permission to continue the same behavior. It gives them permission to still stay average, to do nothing to change their life. Hey, my life has been sucked and nothing I can do to change it because I never been good at that. Hey, I have been really bad with name. I never been good at it. So, and guess what? I will continue to be bad with name, and I will continue do nothing with my life to change my bad habit of not remembering people name. Because guess what? I never been good at that. But all it takes is a conscious effort. You just have to make sure that you repeat a person's name within the first 3 minutes 2 or 3 times, and you will remember. The reason that people are not good at with name because they just don't pay attention. That's it, period. But since they told themselves that, hey, I never been good at it, that's give them a permission to do nothing with their life. Another thing is, hey, I've never been good at math, so that's why I will continue to stay lazy and continue to do nothing to improve my math skills. But all they need is a change in habit of how they study math. Hey, I'm not a morning person. Hey, I never been good at waking up in the morning. Hey, I'm never good at cooking. Hey, I'm never good at controlling myself from eating bad food. Hey, I'm never good at like working out or exercising regularly. I'm never good at like setting goals. I have never been good at like reading books. Or even I had never been good at managing money. My parents never taught me how to manage money. And guess what? I will continue to be sucks with money. I continue to do nothing to change my way of how I spend money because I never been good at it. Because that's my genetic. Because I really suck with money. Hey, I'm never a type of person that outgoing and interesting person. So guess what? I will continue to be a boring and quiet person. And I will do nothing to change my life. Do you see how ridiculous that is? Okay, you may be a boring and quiet person in the past, but what does it have to do with now, and what does it have to do with future? You can change to any person you want to be. You can change to any person that you are capable of being. All it takes is a constant effort and time. Hey, I'm not a dancer. I'm never good at like dancing. I heard so many guys told me that they want to meet women, but they come up with only excuses, and I told them that, hey, look, you go dancing. The first common skill that they always told me that they're not a dancer. Okay, so what? You're not a good dancer in the past, but you can always learn. Nobody born naturally good at dancing. You may see the people on the stage, but you never seen the hour that they put outside of the stage. The 90% of the time they practice, that you never seen it. You only see a 10% when they're on stage. And the same thing with here. If you want to be good at dancing, you just have to practice and you just need to take lessons. It's just simple as that. Hey, I never been good at sport. I'm not really good at volleyball. I'm not really good at basketball. I'm not really good at soccer. Hey, I'm not really good at baseball. Whatever sport, you named it. So what? You can always practice. You can always practice and be good at it. Most people are never expanding their comfort zone. They are doing the same thing over and over again. Isn't it so boring and predictable? And here's the problem when you're doing the same thing over and over again. When you're stuck in your comfort zone for so long, you will be lazy and it's very hard for you to actually step outside of your comfort zone and do the uncomfortable things. As compared to a person that regularly step outside of their comfort zone and regularly face their fears, it would be easier for him to continue to step outside and continue to expand his comfort zone compared to the person that rarely step outside of their comfort zone at all. And that's the same thing with people using this excuse. I never been good at that. And guess what? They continue to tell themselves this story that they never been good at something. And therefore, there's nothing they can do about it. Therefore, they continue to be a victim. Therefore, they continue to be suck at this. And therefore, their life continue to be sucked. And there's nothing they can do to change their life. It's easy to say it and then give up. It's easy to say it and do nothing about it. Anybody can fucking do that. But do you see how nonsense and bullshit that is? I'm not good at this in the past. Therefore, I will not good at this now or in the future. If your friend tell you that, you would call him out on that bullshit and tell you that this is bullshit. But how many times you actually do it to yourself? We can see obviously when people tell us that. But sometimes it's become our blind spot and we do nothing to change our life. I remember I used to be the type of guy that I told myself that, hey, I never been good at talking to girls. And therefore it will be continue for the rest of my life. Little did I know that talking to girls is a skill and I can always change it. I can always improve it. But for so long in the past that I told myself that I was a quiet person and that I wasn't an interesting person to hang out with. I was my worst enemy because I self-sabotaged myself so many times. I never been good at that. Hey, it's not my fault, right? It's my fucking parents' fault for giving me birth with not talented like other people. Yeah, many people using this so that they can easily become a victim and they can easily do nothing to change their life. People continue to be lazy, continue to live an average life. It is just another lazy way to not do anything to improve their life. So the key takeaway for this episode is, you need to remove this bullshit quote or excuse, whatever you call it, from your mind. Yes, you may not be good at something in the past, but that doesn't mean you will not good at something now or in the future. Because I'm convinced that you can be good at anything as long as you're willing to put in the work and enough time. And when I'm talking about time, I'm talking about years. 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. I'm not talking about days or months. So if you want to be good at something, if you want to become a popular speaker, you want to become a YouTuber, you want to become a dancer, you want to become a doctor, an engineer, whatever that you want to become, you must be willing to put on consistent effort and time. 10 years, a decade, are you willing? And that's why it's so important that you choose something you love, something that's your calling, something that you're passionate about. Because it's easier to continue to do it for a long period of time until you become the best. So knowing this bullshit excuse, I challenge yourself to regularly step outside of your comfort zone, regularly to face your fears. You may not do it every day, but this should be your goals. That one day that you continue to step outside of your comfort zone, continue to face your fear. It's become your habit. Remember, you always have the power to get good at anything if you're willing to put in the effort and time. So stop using "I never been good at that," because all it does is to disempower you, to cause you to stay lazy. Just imagine how empowered you feel when you know that you can change your life at any moment in time. You can be good at something at any moment in time if you're willing to put in the work and time. Do you know how empowered that is? If I tell you that you can be really good at talking to girls if you do certain things to change your mindset, isn't that so empowered? And especially hope. Because all we need is hope. We hope that things will get better tomorrow. And that's what we want. We want control and we want hope. We want to know that we have control over our life. And if there is something that we're not satisfied with our life, we can always change it. My friend, you are the author of your life. You can write almost anything that you wanted. But it does take hard work. It does take sacrifice. I hope you enjoyed this episode and got a value out of it. And if you did, please leave a great review and share with other people. That will help this channel reach out to more people. And until next time, you guys are an awesome human being. Thank you.